Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to make this video. Don't know how long it's going to end up being, but I wanted to make this video talking about how to tell your parents or family or friends that really care about you and are really worried about you, that you want to live the raw vegan lifestyle, that you want to make this a huge change and something that you're not going to, just do for a month or so and give up on. You want to make this a real lifestyle change and keep it. So first of all, the reactions are probably like, oh, this is just a phase, oh, just a diet, you're just trying to, do this for the short term. There's lots of creative things they can say. I've been there, trust me. I know I still get it all the time. So they're probably saying, well, fruit is so expensive, how do you see yourself actually living off of fruit as your staple? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's really possible, and I've been doing this for a year now. This week has been my 1 year raw anniversary. They're questioning this whole, lifestyle change that you're trying to bring on. Well, first of all, they're just worried about you. They just want what's best for you. They love you. They care about you. You're bringing something completely foreign to them and different. They've only seen eating meat and processed food, and I'm sure there's some fruits and vegetables here or there, but not as the staple and the base of your diet. So you're possibly going against family cultural traditions, which, is a huge deal because, food is so part of our culture and social gatherings and just hanging out with friends. What do? You go out to dinner with friends. What do? You go out with family to brunch. So it's so ingrained, and you just have to understand that you're coming at them from a totally different perspective and angle that they've never even known existed possibly, or that could work long term. Just maybe also you might be hurting their feeling. Like they may be feeling, I caused this unhealthy lifestyle on my child. Their feelings just might be hurt because you're saying without eating their meals, oh, my food's not healthy enough for you. So it's a very touchy subject, and I know because whenever I go to my family, or my friends are pretty much, I'll just tell them, but my family gets a little more, I won't say offended, but obviously food is just like, this is my present to you, I'm welcoming you, you're part of my, house and family, and I want you to feel welcome. So when you kind of say, I don't want to have that, they're questioning whether you feel welcomed, do you feel like you're a part of everyone and having a good time, and are you feeling like you're included? So these are just things that they worry about. So that's just some perspective on what they're thinking and going through. So we all know that part, right? So now I have a few solutions that might help with this problem, and I've tried this with myself and my family, because in the beginning it wasn't easy at all. I first had to sit down with my parents, my grandma, grandpa, and I had to tell them, and first of all, what I want to say is just be calm, be assertive, just know that this is what you want, be confident about it, but don't start a fight. Just, be cool about, what they have to say, and let them say it, don't stop them, because that's only going to make them feel like you're superior, you know better, or whatever. So just be calm and cool about it, you just want to inform them and explain to them what's on your mind, why are you doing this, give them time to process, this whole change. Change doesn't happen instantaneously, it doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, so this new lifestyle, you're slowly building upon it and bringing more and more change to yourself. And that can also be, a scary thing for your family. Who is this person? Like, they're changing now, so what does that mean for us? You want to, of course, I know you've heard of this, but you want to educate yourself. You want to look at all, YouTube videos, check out websites, blogs, books. You definitely want to see movies like Forks Over Knives. That's probably the first one that I recommend to everybody that's first even looking at the vegan lifestyle completely anew, because you want to get some perspective and new information about it. it's a totally, you know, you want to get it from the right source as well. If you're getting it from the mainstream media, it's not going to be exactly the same story as opposed to when you read it from the China study or you see it in Forks Over Knives. It's a different perspective and they're backing up different points, but it's with hardcore scientific data, so you know, your parents can't be like, oh, well, who is this person on YouTube like me saying like this diet is great for you. I mean, people like me and other YouTube video makers, they're absolutely wonderful sources, but you want to have somebody that like a doctor, like Dr. Doug Graham, somebody that's more, you know, has scientific data about it and that can support you in that. So of course you want to discuss the benefits of this lifestyle. You want to show other people's stories that they've lost weight, they've cured this illness or this disease or they've this ailment or whatever the case may be, and try to find maybe what you're looking for. Show your parents or your family that, you know, it worked for these people, why wouldn't it work for me? And show them that these people, you know, before and after pictures, or that these people are feeling so much better and they have more energy and they look fantastic and they've never felt this way in a long time before. So you want to try to give them that angle too, perhaps for yourself that this might work. And the thing is, I know that parents and family are like, well, you're not looking so good right now and right now. Well, you want to tell them, can you give me a year or 2 years? If I'm not looking healthier, better, if I'm not feeling better, I'll make that change back to, you know, whatever I feel is best. So don't say that you're going to do this forever from here on out, because that's just going to scare them, and it's going to, you know, it's a commitment that you don't want to make, you know, 100% or whatever, you know, it's like that saying, I have to be 100% raw or none raw kind of thing. Well, no, you don't. You don't have to be perfect. It's all about building to that new lifestyle, like I said before. So what you want to do is you just want to say, because my family has also approached me and said, you know, like, you're not going to live this way forever, right? Like, when are you going to go back to the old ways? And I was just pretty much like, oh, we'll see, you know, how I'm feeling in a year or 2, and I'll see how it goes. If I don't like what I see and how I feel, then it's not a problem, I'll go back, you know, or whatever. That's just my approach and how I told my family if it wasn't going to work out, because, you know, obviously they're worried and they just think it's different, and, you know, they're just not used to it. So you just want to assure them that, you know, if I don't like it, I'll go back to whatever I want to do. So the website Chronometer would probably be helpful in showing the amount of calories you get for fruit. This comes in handy for the issue of your family or your parents or whoever's, you know, buying the groceries is saying, well, hey, like, I just bought you 10 apples, like 3 bunches of bananas, and I don't know, a box of spinach. Like, that should last you for a while, right? Well, you want to show them that it takes a lot more volume to satisfy your caloric needs and to get all of your nutrients in. So that being said, you want to make sure that you're getting the proper amount of produce, because if you're not, you want to explain to them that could be the reason why you're not as energetic as you would like to be, that, you know, you're not feeling as great as you would like to, or you don't have energy to exercise, or things aren't starting to clear up. Well, you need enough calories, first of all, for your body to have the energy to clean itself out and to rejuvenate. So you need enough fruits and greens. Also, greens, you want to have lots of greens, okay? So make sure you're eating enough of them, at least I would say a pound of greens a day, according to 80-10-10. And I know I feel my best when I'm eating a pound of greens a day, because all of the greens, when I'm chewing them in my mouth, after all of the sugar I've been eating all day, I find that it feels nice on my teeth, and it just helps move things along as well. So you want to make sure you're getting enough of those things in. After a year, you will really be able to see the results, because if you're under eating, you're not going to feel your best, you're not going to look your best. You want to constantly have, you know, enough fruit, and you have to explain that after showing them that, you know, the volume is so much more for the amount of calories you're getting. but you're getting so much more nutrients as well. So you want to explain to them that and show them that through Chronometer, or I think Chronometer is a very good website. If you just put in how many, you know, bananas or dates or pears, apples, I mean whatever fruit you love, mangoes, can't wait for them to start appearing over here. But that's what you want to do. Some movies that I really recommend, first of all, like I said, Forks Over Knives. That was the movie that really got my parents, you know, looking into this and saying, oh, that's right, like maybe you have a point to this, because there's doctors and hard scientific data, and it's very approachable in the way the movie is taught. I mean, in the way the movie tells you these things, and it gives you examples of people and, you know, doctors and all different kinds of perspectives. So it's a really great movie. Another movie that I super highly recommend is called Eating, and it's by Mike Anderson, and it's also from the perspective of a doctor and several doctors talking, including Dr. Campbell, Dr. Esselstyn. Their data in the China study is included, and also I don't remember the other doctor, but she cured her breast cancer and then went on to be a marathon runner. Really incredible story. What really happened was that they saw that the conventional medical system and the way they treat patients with their conditions, they already knew what was going to happen to them if they were going to go through with that model. So they decided they didn't want that. You know, one of the doctors said, I've seen what, you know, chemotherapy does, and she didn't want that for herself. So she looked for other ways, and she came upon this information and this way of being. And, you know, she was saying how she only had chicken breasts and skim milk, and the doctor looked, and I think it was Dr. Esselstyn, he looked at her and said, well, that's exactly the diet that got you there, and she was shocked. So, you know, I mean, the movie is really great, also very approachable. It's not as, you know, cinematic as Forks Over Knives, but the information is really great and spot on. You might want to also share the books, so the China study, the 80-10-10 diet, Dr. Esselstyn's books, what was it, maybe McDougall, if that's like a nice transition for going into raw. There's a whole bunch of books that you can show your parents that has scientific data and examples and meal plans and, you know, everything. So the 80-10-10 diet by Dr. Doug Graham is fabulous. It gives you meal plans. It tells you about the scientific, you know, approach. It tells you about like the natural approach of why this makes sense just with common sense. And all of like, it addresses every issue. I mean, candida, diabetes, heart disease. It addresses all of these diseases and how this lifestyle can overcome them. So sharing these doctors' websites may also be a great resource. These are doctors that went through the conventional medical system and decided, hey, this isn't working for me, and, you know, the people that I've been working with, it's not working. You know, their opinion is the same as with what ours would be. It's that the vegan lifestyle is so much more preventative of these diseases and illnesses, and it makes you feel your best. So it's really great. So you want to check out websites and just look up some websites. So another kind of angle on this is that your parents and family might be thinking, well, you might be going on a junk food vegan diet, for example, potato chips, soda, bread, pasta. I mean, these things are all still vegan, but are they necessarily the best for your health? And, you know, a high oil, so, you know, olive oil, you're going to explain to them that it's a low fat, and that you're not going to be eating processed foods, that you're actually going to be eating an abundance of fruits and vegetables and greens, which are going to only be beneficial. And you have to eat them in the proper portions, like I've said before, so that you get all of your nutrients. You have to eat a lot of them. And in order to get your caloric needs fulfilled, you might want to also tell them that there's a lot of calories in dates and bananas, and that you're not going to go hungry. Because I mean, I still get, you know, whenever I'm talking to my family, they're always like, oh, do you even have anything to eat, or are you hungry right now? I mean, you know, they obviously care, and that's why they're asking. But, It's just, you know, something you have to learn to laugh at. It's not a big deal. You're fine. I'm fine. I've been sitting out here making this video in the cold, and I'm not even that cold yet. I probably just jinxed it. But, you know, you're just as fine as anybody else would be. I also wanted to talk about the whole issue of, well, fruit's expensive. Organic stuff is expensive. Fruit is not as expensive as, you know, people think, like, you know, our parents may be thinking it out to be. Yes, we have to eat it in bigger amounts, but okay, ready? This is what you tell them. You say, well, I'm not going out to restaurants every Friday night like I used to and spend like 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks that you're spending at the restaurant. I mean, your lunch outside, like at school, you're not going to be getting that, or work. I mean, everything is included. This is a whole, everything, every meal, everything. For me, it's a great price. I mean, everything's so much cheaper nowadays. When I used to go out to eat probably like once or twice a week with friends just to hang out. So it's not as expensive as you think, and you just eat with the seasonal fruits. So I mean, bananas are in season all year long. They're cheaper in the summer because more people eat them in the summer because people like fruit time. But I mean, winter, you have your dates, you have your citrus, so make the most of that. And then summer's coming along soon. I mean, I just miss mangoes so much. But fruit does not have to be expensive, and I mean, like with everything, eventually you find where the best deals are. You find where you can get the best produce, you know, the most delicious produce, and the cheapest produce in your area. So, I mean, if you keep going around looking for it, you will find it eventually, the cheapest stuff. So, price-wise, I wouldn't be, that's not a factor. If you really want this and you want to make it work, you will do it wherever you are. You will do it with whatever, you know, conditions you have, whatever's available. I mean, 40 Below Fruity, Tara, she's doing it, and she's up in Canada, so no excuses, guys. If all else fails, are you ready for this? If all else fails, what you can just tell them is, you know, tell your parents and your family, this is what's making me happy right now. This is what makes me feel my best right now. This is what makes me feel good, look my best, gives me lots of energy. How can they say no to that? I mean, they're going to probably be like, okay, I'll give you a chance, but like, just say, this is what's making me happy right now. If it doesn't work out for me, I'm not going to keep going with it. Obviously, you won't do what doesn't make you happy. You're like, when you motivate yourself and you stick to the lifestyle and you stick with it for a year, 2 years, like you said you would, and then you would go back if all else failed, you know. I doubt that it would, but if you're, you know, doing it properly, you're eating enough, well then I'm sure that you're going to change them in some way. You're going to, first of all, they need time to process all of this information, right? I mean, if you went from like a meat-eating standard American diet, this is going to be a complete switch, and just giving them that time, you'll see that in a year or two, you know, they'll start eating a little bit of more fruits or vegetables. You will see that they will change. And I know you're probably thinking this won't happen, you know, you don't know my parents, you don't know my aunt or uncle or whoever, but they will get used to it. And I mean, when they see you are happy, that's when they'll be happy, because they only care about your happiness and that you feel good and fulfilled and welcomed and loved. And if you do that, then I'm sure they will accept it. I mean, tell them that your food loves you back. I mean, you feel the love completely, right? If that fails, then this is what you tell them, that it's my choice and I'm responsible for the consequences of my choice. And just give yourself time to feel all of the benefits of this lifestyle. You will get them. It just takes, you know, it'll be little by little. Like I said in the very beginning, you're just building up to that wall of your health and in this lifestyle. So yeah, I've done my research. I've seen, you know, all the data from the credible sources, and this is not like any bogus science type stuff. This is real science, and people are thriving on this lifestyle, and I want to try it. And just, you know, even if you're not an adult yet, I mean, they should respect you that, you know, you're mature enough to take on that responsibility, that you're responsible for your own health. I mean, that's huge, because so many people are just, you know, going around relying on doctors, and just, you know, obviously you want to rely on your parents, but, you know, doing research for yourself. I mean, who said that's a bad thing? You're taking charge. That's great. It's fantastic. I remember I would just like put on forks over knives and have it play in the background as my mom was like doing work or cooking or something. And, you know, it eventually just, it just takes time to reprogram your mind. It takes time. It took me a year before I actually committed to doing this 100% and making it work, and not, you know, not relying on like other junk food, and I mean just getting off of junk food and ice cream and stuff. That was huge. It took me a year to reprogram this little nugget right here. A year. So give yourself time. Don't, you know, beat yourself up if you're not 100% yet, because that's not what it's about. It's just about making better choices every day, and that's really the best we can do for ourselves and right now where we are. So I really hope this video is helpful, and leave some comments down below if you have any other suggestions, because even myself, I mean, I'm not done yet. I mean, my family's still, they're kind of used to it, but, you know, they're still trying to transition, and my other family, they're just like, oh my gosh, you're gonna be on vegetables for the rest of your life. They just call me a rabbit. But that's another story. So I really hope this helped. Like this video if you like this video, and comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Alright, so bye guys, take care.